Assalamu alaikum. Haydo. No? Sorry. It says at the end, right? Okay. So I just want to grab her attention. This is Anan Alsubaihi from Kuwait. And first, I want to start with telling you something about yourselves that you don't know. I come from Kuwait, and almost all Kuwaitis have some of your culture, the Swedish culture, in their houses by IKEA. So we live with your culture on a daily basis, which is great, isn't it? You go from the North Pole to the desert, don't you? Well, unfortunately, I don't think that your houses has anything from our culture, do you? That's why I've dressed today with what is called Arabic bisht. Do you know what is that? First time? Do you see it for the first time? So raise your hand. Oh, good. Okay, so I've been into something new. This is Arabic bisht, where the head of the tribe in the desert, they wear it, and if some special occasions like wedding or something, all the men will wear it. And nowadays, also the girls would wear it as fashion. So it's like blue and silver, and everybody enjoys it. I just want to give you a taste of the desert, and the weather outside is just 2 degrees, so it's just a taste of it. This is first. Second, your mother language is not English, and mine is not too. So you have Swedish, I have Arabic, and we're talking English. So if you combine all those together, you'll get something like Chinese, right? So I think you will enjoy it for the 30 minutes we're having together in Chinese language. Okay. Third thing, this is my first time for me to come to the North Pole. This is the first time for me to come to the Scandinavian part of the world. And I think also I am the first lady coming from the Gulf to represent a talk here in this marvelous yearly gathering you're having. Right. So as you see, something is going on between the desert and the North Pole. We're not connected. So I hope this is the first time where we get the links together, because we are all one, right? Okay, so our talk today is not basically talk. It's about 4 main questions. So I told you a little bit about myself, and now I want you to tell me a little bit about yourselves. But I can't talk to all of you, so we will do it in a very different way. I want you to introduce yourself, but in a way that you didn't do before. Ready? Ready? Yeah, I have to be ready. So in a group of 2, either you go left or you go right, okay? And then you introduce yourself without saying your name. Instead, what you will say is the most thing you did in your life you're proud of. And please, you have only 1 minute, so 30 seconds of each, okay? Anybody didn't understand? Just introduce yourself by the most thing you are proud of in 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, start. Please switch to the other speaker. If you have introduced yourself, now your partner, please, for the 30 seconds. Time's out. Time's out. Are you done? Are you done? Please raise your hand if you're done. Great. Great. Okay. The one thing I know that it is a hard question. Is it? Yeah. If you are the one that knew what you are proud of and say it straight away, thank you, and clap hands for you. Whereas, do you hear me well with this mic? Okay. Whereas, if you didn't come across this question in your life, that is so difficult. And more worse, if you don't know the answer, right? I have the opportunity to meet two highly well-known academic professors. They're very well-known in their topics, one in economics from Australia and the other one from New Zealand, topping auditing and accounting. They are 30 years in their field, writing papers and teaching us in the universities. And they told me, you know, Anan, when we look back to our 30 years, we're not sure we're happy of what we did. Or is this the thing we are proud of? So it is the question to be asked today. If you don't have the answer, it's an opportunity now because you have the question, right? So the first question out of 4 is done. So I'll take out the Kuwaiti part, and Kuwait will wait for me, and then I will wear our topic, which is Insani. Good? Different? Okay. So now I'm in the job. Insani. What is Insani? She's Kuwait. We don't know what is Kuwait, what is the Gulf, what is the desert. She's speaking Chinese. And now Insani, what is Insani? So instead of me like saying Insani is this and that, I want you to go to the second question and answer this question. What is Insani? I will show you a video. In 1 minute, you and your partner, who you just had a chat with, I want you to tell me anything you understood of that Insani, okay? What country they are, what do they do, anything of that. But there is a big challenge. Ready for the challenge? The video is in Arabic. Not in Chinese this time. The video is in Arabic, okay? So it will be like easy and difficult, and we'll see the results. احنا اولى ان نقدم اختراعات جديده في هذا الصناعه. اللي شفته في شركه عقد الفلسطين كان محاول الانسان يطرح فكره جديده في العالم الخيري. نقل من التقليد الى العالم المتفاعل، عالم فيه احساس عمل جماعي، ترابط، مثابره، يشارك الجميع، يعبر الجميع. في النهايه العمل الخيري مو للجمعيه او القائمين عليه. العمل يقدم على الناس والجميع، وهذا شيء خاص. جمع التبرعات كان جزء من الحملة. الهدف كتبناه في 16/4 وقع عليه الاستدارة. أول واحد من بناء التوعية بقضايا حرمان أطفال التعليم وأهمية الدعم المعنوي. التبرعات لا شك أمر مهم، لكن في فوائد أكثر. الإنسان كان يدور جهاز، كان يدور على المساعدات. الرسالة لشؤون الناس وصلت معاناة هذا الطفل، جاء في 5 سنين، معاناة أمها، مجتمع بلده. شلون أيضا الناس وصلت الجهود الشبابية الجبارة اللي شفتوها من كل الفرق في توصيل هذه الرسالة. فعلا الإنسان يختار طريق أصعب، طريق أقوى. Did you get anything? Okay, so just a quick question. What is Insani? If you can raise your hand because I can't see you well. What is Insani? Did you get anything? Yeah? Easy video, isn't it? You can say it in Swedish, I know. Yes, please? Talks about? Voluntary thing. Okay, good. For whom? Children, very good. And here, the left side section. Any answer? It seems to be you didn't understand. Oh, one there. Sorry? Yes, for the poor. Marvelous. Yes, okay. And what else? Anything else? Okay. Khawla? People that don't go to school. Schooling. Is anybody here did not go to school? No, right? So it's weird not to go to school. Very good. Okay. If you didn't get anything of the video, relax. We'll talk about it, but after question 3. Question 3 is very hard question. It needs you to concentrate, okay? The question is, did you have lunch today? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, good. Do you remember what did you have? What did you have? Scottish salmon, Norwegian seafood thing, Arabic halal food. You enjoyed outside. You had your lunch at home. You remember that, right? Okay, and who's hungry and didn't have lunch and then we mentioned food? I think you're hungry now. So you would think, what is the dinner after this lecture, right? Yes. So what was the lunch? What is the dinner? Okay, what about tomorrow's lunch? Do you know what will you have tomorrow? Do you? Will you have lunch tomorrow? Will you? Raise your hand if you'll have like lunch tomorrow. Oh, most of you will have lunch tomorrow. Okay. Can you remember what is the date today? 30th of March. On what year is that? 2018. Are you sure? Sure. Can you imagine on this date, 30th of March 2018, where we have technology, Google, Tesla is building a city on Mars, Amazon, everything online, modernity, luxury, and in the same time, 800,000 Burmese did not have lunch. And they will not have dinner because it's more than midnight there. And they will not have lunch tomorrow. This is not a problem because we know that on news. You know Ghouta in Syria? They did not have food for 3 years. If you meet a kid there and you show him a candy or an ice cream, he will not take it because he doesn't know it. Can you imagine that? 2018. What's happening in the world in 2018? Let's have a look. 7 million Muslims are not having security of food. 3 million Syrian disabled forever. 6 million are not living in a safe land. 12 million are now in need for medical service. 16,000 Yemenis kids are severely injured. And when I say severely, they are between death and life. And I met many kids went into operation without mama or father and without anesthesia. I met them. 3 million kids Khawla are out of school. And 3 other million kids have. It's very hard to say those, aren't they? We have also, from every 5 kids, 4 have lost one at least of their family. With all those numbers in 2008, it is so scary world. It is. And all of the problems I talked about are in Muslim countries. And I have met too many kids where they ask me questions and I don't have an answer. And those kinds of questions made up my full question: am I proud of what I'm doing? When a kid comes to you and say, how is Sweden? Is it a nice country? And then you say, yeah. And then he said, so you don't have bombs? And then another one say, how many members of your family are killed? And then the other one say, how many tents are there in your neighborhood? What shall you answer? I have a 2-story flat or a kitchen. You can't say that. And sometimes you just ask yourselves, are they kids? Are they interested in such a question? Is it a normal question for kids? That's why the United Nations said that 3 coming generations of Syrian people are destroyed solely. They're not destroyed of not having food. They're destroyed solely. And now I will share with you this story, which I witnessed. Okay? When I say I witnessed, it means I saw it. I didn't come with the news from like another source or a newspaper or anything. So it was Ramadan, not the last one, the one before it, where as Insani we gather up always kids in camps, and we want them to have like nice 3 days with us. In those camps, we teach them. What do you think we teach them? What do you think we teach them? Reading? Reading? To torture the mother and the kids, because he is losing everything. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's just war. Nobody understands. No rules. And he started torturing with cigarettes the body of the kids. And I said, maybe they're boys or they may be elder kids. And they said, no, 5 of them are girls. And the elder one is 11 years, and the smallest one, the youngest one is 4 years old. Imagine. And then in Ramadan, one day he came, 10th of Ramadan, he came to the mother and he said, if you don't give me the money, I'll kill you. And she ate suhoor and she slept. On that day, really she didn't have money. She didn't hide anything from him. That day she didn't have money at all. Morning, he told her, give me the money. She said, I don't have. He took the knife in front of the 5 kids and he stabbed her 4 times, and the 5th was the dying one. When the police came, they asked somebody to demonstrate what happened. Everybody was like in silence. What happened? They're kids. Could you imagine who demonstrated what happened? Could you imagine who? The 4 years old. She demonstrated the whole thing. And if you want to see this family, I was with them 2 months earlier. Those are the 5 girls. And who said the story is the one wearing white and black, Fatima. She's a gorgeous girl, but no father, no mother, just nowhere. So, Insani, what we're trying to do is war destroying something, and we are solving something else. If that's difficult, we're gonna just repeat. You know, in Islam, we are three parts. The man is a mind, a soul, and a body, right? In Insani, we want the three things to be reformed. The war destroys soul and mind. It doesn't destroy body because Syrian people are alive, right? But as I said, they're destroyed, as the United Nations said. And when you give charity, it goes to the body, right? The $100 does not give Fatma her mother back. And this $100 cannot wipe the image. That's why Muslims now need each other. Money is there, but we are not there to each other. So my question is, in 2 months' time from now, we will be in what? Ramadan. And Ramadan is shahr. What is it? And in Quran, Ramadan shahr al-Quran. So all of us, inshallah, Allah يبلغنا يا رب وحبايبنا, all whom we love, this Ramadan 2018. Ramadan is shahr al-Quran, so we will get across with Quran, right? I want you to remember me. When you read this ayah, إنما المؤمنون إخوة. Muslims are brothers. It means they are family. How much of our lives is for our family? If the 6 biggest wars running now are in our families' countries: Iraq, Palestine, Syria, Yemen, and formerly Somalia, Libya, and Burma. The centuries' wars are within our families. And what do you do all day? What do we do? Career hunting, studying, marriage, family, and then what? Spare time, gym, selfie on Facebook. This is our life. This is what Google and Facebook and Twitter tells us how to do in our lives. Don't we? Don't we? Do you have 5 minutes a day to tweet for your brothers and sisters? Do we do that? It's very, very cryable situation we're living. If I go there, I will find British, I will find all kinds of people. I don't feel like the European Muslims are there with us. And you are in the most wonderful country. You have more powerful than we do, or powers than we do. Then, if I mentioned just now al-Ghuta, you know al-Ghuta? The trap thing in Syria. So I just want to show you what happened this week and there. If kids are here, just don't. Yeah, just don't. Yeah. It's not that much of what we saw, but it's a kind of. This is chemical weapon. He's alive. Okay. Do you know that the Syrian war, or let's put it that way, there is an average for kids victims in all wars. It's an average. The Syrian war has exceeded that average for kids victims 7 times. I will not imagine that day when I stand in front of my God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He will say the simple question. In your age, Anan, the time I put you in earth, you witnessed 7 big wars for your family. That is written in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. What did you do? Simple question. So now, forget everything I said and smile. Smile. Can you? Please smile for me. I want to see your teeth. No? Okay, so stop crying. This is what I do. I cry and smile both together because this is my job. I can't go for the kids and just cry. And I can't be not a human and not to cry because it's the crazy world. We have to live like for the thing we are here to do. It's not what we told to do. Right. So, if we forget everything, now we move to the 4th and final question to conclude. What can we do? What can we do? It's very simple. Can I have my small bag? Yeah. So, do you know this? Do you know this? This is the solution. If you have this, and all of us do, this is the solution. Imagine anything in your mind that cannot be done in this phone. It's a smartphone. You can travel with it, you can do imaginary things with it, you can, whatever thing you can't do within 20 years before, now you can do with this small device. So it's very easy if you have the will, you have the way. Okay, what about Insani? Did we forget about them? No, we didn't. They used it as a solution. So you can do many, many ideas. And let's see, what did they do? And what did they do is the movie I put in Arabic with the second question. So I'm going to put that movie again in silent, and I'm going to translate for you what did they do with the phone. I always need help. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. So they did last Ramadan a competition. They did charity in 2 things: by the phone, competition, and time. So you team up, and you have a team, you name that team, and then we reserve a ticket for you on like one day of Ramadan, like the second day of Ramadan. You have from 2 p.m. to 12 midnight, this like 10 hours, you gather from the campaign you create for your audience, you gather up whatever you want from the commitment you gave us. So if you said, I'm gonna secure a half school for next year, which is this year, and I will bring the money from 10 p.m. from 2 p.m. till midnight. And then we leave you. And you go and use your phone, your creative ideas, and you bring this money with your own marketing campaign. What happened? This. Or maybe they repeated it. They gathered up with 40 teams, and they had a commitment of $500,000 in 30 minutes. Isn't that powerful? Isn't it powerful? In 30 minutes, we got $500,000 commitments from all groups. And that campaign, 50% of the givers are less than 18 years old. So everybody put like $10, $20 until they gave up all this amount, which is a very big amount. What does that describe? It describes that all the competitors are young. So they have something to fight for. They have a good idea to live for. They're not young, they're not busy in Facebook, they're not busy in doing nothing. You created an idea for them to live for somebody else, and that's where you can be proud of. Now, for me to end this, I had 5 conferences in these 2 weeks. One in Qatar, one in Bahrain, one in Sweden, and one in France, and one in back to Kuwait. And I chose to be where? Where? With you. Why? I know you're in the North Pole and so attractive, but the thing I flew for is one sentence. We need you. We need you. I got on the ground and prayed. If I have the capacity, schools that have a capacity of 4,000, I have 40,000 kids on waiting list. Hey, we cannot do it alone. You're in the country that is well-respected leader in the international affairs. You have the 4th passport power in the world. You are one of the richest and one of the freedom of talk, freedom of everything. If you go to Jordan or Lebanon and you want to enter a camp, they will let you in and they will not let me in. You don't have the constraints we have. You have all the tools. The thing I came from, just to have this message to tell you, all of you, my 4th question. If this was done by Insani in the developed world, which is the emerging market they call us, the Gulf countries, you're in the developing world. If we did it in 30 minutes, you can do more than that in 15 minutes. If this device was within the hands of Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, or al-Sahaba, or Tabi'een, or our scholars, or the Muslims that went all around the globe to build the Ottoman Empire, if they had only this, it will be done. They have the heart. If we are facing war, war will not disappear with money and charity. It will disappear by us, by our hearts, by Muslim nation coming together again. And salam alaikum.